So LLC is for people who are in the US and ACN are people in Australia. Those are the two situations I know. Canada, UK should have similar options. So what I'm going to teach you is sort of like a universal trend or formula you should follow that should apply for everyone. So there is two options when it comes to when to create your LLC. You create an LLC before you even start dropshipping. One, this will motivate you to make dropshipping work and see it through to the end. Two, the bad thing is you'll be down 300. Three, it's pretty good because now you'll be able to form several companies, several different stores under your LLC. And four, you won't have to worry about it later on, especially when you're scaling. When you have a lot of things going, you don't want to be worrying about setting up an LLC. But it is pretty easy nowadays, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue. What I do prefer is option 2. Create an LLC once you get consistent sales. 1. Maybe wait till you're making at least 1 to 2 sales every day consistently. Then you know that dropshipping is something that you're gonna stick with. Then drop $300 to create an LLC. So now you won't be down $300 when you start. You'll have that extra $300 for product testing. 3, this is one less thing for you to worry about when you're starting out. When you're starting out, there's just a bunch of information bombarded at you, and the last thing you want to do is deal with setting up an LLC. You just want to get started, get your first 2 sales running, and having an LLC and figuring that out definitely shouldn't be on your plate, especially when you just get started. You're just going to get overwhelmed. So that's why I recommend option 2. What you definitely want to avoid is you don't want to make an LLC after you make more than say 10 to 20,000 plus in profit per month. Like once you're making that much money, you'll be hit heavily by taxes as that money will be unearned under your personal income. So how to go ahead and set up an LLC. So this is for United States. This has been recommended by a lot of fellow dropshipper friends of mine that are pretty well in the dropshipping space, and they use www.mycompaniesworks.com. It's very good, very quick, and it takes less than 1 week to get all your required documents. That's why it has been highly suggested. They do it for a pretty good price, and they're just easy to work with, and they're highly professional. Now, if you're Australian, what you want to do is you want to get a ACN, Australian Company Number. This is best done through an accountant, and you follow the same rules above, where like you're only recommended to do this after you get consistent sales. Like ACN, I recommend ACN for when you're making more than say $5,000 in net profit per month. You want to set up an ACN. Anything before that, you can stick with an Australian business number, which can be easily applied for online. And with the ABN number, that's something you could wait until you make at least 1 to 2 consistent sales every day to worry about. Other than that, you just stick with your personal setup. If you're making no money, nothing's going to be triggered. Until you're making at least 1 to 2 sales every single day, should you consider looking into ABNs. And what I did was I used an ABN until I was making more than $50,000 a month in revenue. So it's netting roughly say 20% of that. So until I was making like 10 grand a month in net profit, which was a bit too late, then I transitioned into an ACN. But ABN structure is already pretty decent. You just don't want to have a personal income sort of structure. But worry about ABN when you make 1 or 2 sales, and worry about ACN when you're netting more than 10 grand, 5 grand a month. And that's sort of what you should follow.